Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rock and Roll Union Streamcast, man. Got so much great things ahead for you this evening, guys. We're joined by Kobi Reese, young child prodigy rocker, man. Really excited to talk to him. And after that, we'll be joined by the original band Hex Engine out of Philadelphia. A lot of great stuff happening. Just wanted to mention our sponsor real quick, Rosenfeld Dental Associates, located at 1095 Inman Avenue in Edison, New Jersey. Rock your smile with the Rock Doc. Dave Rosenfeld nominated one of Jersey's top dentists for 2023. Also wanted to make a big mention of the Battle of the Bands, Death Wish Coffee Battle of the Bands. If you didn't get the chance to go and check out the interviews I did with the band last week, make sure you go to our YouTube channel, check that out. And this coming Friday night, I am excited to announce that I will be emceeing the Battle of the Bands Friday night. Really looking forward to that. We'll also still be doing the YouTube live interviews with each band involved. So really excited for that. And a lot more live stuff coming from us upcoming, including Jam on the Dam. We got a Sweeney's 90s night coming up. A lot of great stuff for Rock and Roll Union, and really excited to get you guys into the fold. So it is my pleasure now to introduce to you guys Sir Kobi Reese. Kobi, man, I've heard so much about you on the local scene. You've become quite a friend of so many people that I know, Donnie Rocket, and so many other guys that you've been out there rocking with. How long have now you play drums and sing? How long you been playing drums for?
I've been playing drums since I was 7 years old, for 5 years, and I first started taking drum lessons at School of Rock, and I started taking vocal lessons when I was 9 at the School of Rock too. So I've been taking vocal lessons for 3 years now, and right now I take vocal lessons privately by Max Lawrence, Don Lawrence's son, and he's amazing. He's taught me everything I know. And right now, my drum teacher is Joey Casada, and he's the best drum teacher I could ever ask for. And he's taught me everything ever since I first started taking drum lessons. He's been one of my only teachers. So happy I take
Now,
lessons from amazing
what made
teachers.
you want to get into it, Kobe? Like, when did you realize you wanted to start playing music?
Well, I've just always had this I've always been inspired by so many famous people. I've watched videos of Bon Jovi and Kiss. Yeah, and I was just really into music at a very young age. I would bang on my bed frame with chopsticks when I was little. I would put on my headphones and stay in my room for hours. Yeah, I would only come
Wow.
out to eat basically, and I would always be playing music.
Now you mentioned. Now I saw last night you went to. It was it last night or the night before? You went and saw Night Ranger and Brett Michaels. And how was that show?
It was amazing. Night Ranger is one of my favorite bands. I mean, I listen to them like every day. I have so many favorite songs,
Wow.
and I do a couple of their songs in my own band. And Brett Michaels was always been the biggest singing inspiration for me. Just the way he captures the audience when he performs is incredible. And I've seen many videos of him, and I try to put some of his moves into my stage presence. And he's so good.
And also saw on your Facebook, and it kind of blew me away that you did some singing with Ari Kameen lately, just recently, and he's been on my show as well. Great guy. How'd that happen?
I originally saw Ari Kamen perform with Steven Adler at the Paramount Theater. So when I heard that he was performing in California, where I was at the time performing with School of Rock, um, I was I was very surprised. So I reached out to him and I was talking with him for a while. And then he asked me if I wanted to perform with him at his show. And it was an incredible opportunity. And I've never thought I would be performing with him. So I was so happy.
That was awesome, man. And now, as far as your influences, I know you have a lot of older influences, stuff that I grew up on, stuff your parents probably grew up on. Is there any
Yeah.
kind of music that you listen to that your parents understand?
Yeah, there
Is there
is a
anything
lot. I mean, recently I've been really into like pop punk music, like Blink 182 and stuff, and they don't really listen to that. I also like the band Ghost. I've been wanting to see them,
great band?
and I, yeah, they're amazing. I love all their songs. Their songwriting is very good. And I mean, my mom listens to country music, and my dad listens to heavy metal. So I guess I'm right in between.
Uh, So, what's going on with you as far as schedule wise? I know that you're a very, very busy young man. You keep busy, constantly out there playing. So, what's the upcoming schedule look like for you?
On September 2nd, I'll be performing with my band Reese at the Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall in Atlantic City. So you guys can check me out on that show. And on September 30th, I'll be playing at the Metal Rock Night at the Laughing Fox Tavern in Magnolia. And I'll also be performing with Arena Gods is the other band alongside my band. So those are two of my
That's
upcoming
awesome.
shows. Yeah.
Now, does with the rock that you do and all the music that you do, does that leave you a lot of time for like friends and hanging out and things like that? What do you like to do outside of music?
Yeah. I mean, I'm really busy with my music, but I definitely have some time to hang out with my friends, and I hang out with my family a lot. We play board games every night, especially in the summer when I don't have school. But in the winter and in the summer, I hang out with my friends a lot. We go bike riding. I also play baseball too. So
Oh wow, man! So you're on a team for baseball?
yes, I'm on my town's travel team.
That's awesome. What position do you play?
I play a lot. I mean, I play outfield, I play shortstop, second base, and pitcher.
Awesome. Now, as far as your favorite music, who are some of your top? I mean, you mentioned Brett Michaels. You
Mhm.
mentioned Night Ranger. Who else do you really look up to?
Bon Jovi and Kiss. I mean, every drummer in Kiss was amazing. Eric Singer, Peter Chris, Eric Carr. I mean, they're amazing. And just um, I also love Kip Winger too. Winger's music is amazing, and I like Dokken, Great White. Basically, any
Wow,
80s hair metal band, you name it, and I love them.
that's awesome. Now, what grade are you getting ready to go into?
Seventh grade. Yeah, I'll be going in
Man,
seventh
so
grade.
you're in middle school.
Yeah, I am.
So what do your classmates, what do your friends think about you out there rocking?
I mean, they always play my songs in school, so it's pretty incredible
Awesome.
to be me. I mean, just in my position, it's really cool to have my friends know what I do, and a lot of people don't know what they're going to do for a living, but I mean I really do. So it's kind of cool.
That's awesome. Now, as far as people finding out about Kobe, finding out about you or your band Reese, you also play drums, or do you only play drums for Reese, or you play with somebody else as well?
Um, I actually sing for my band. I'm the lead singer, and I drum and sing for about 30 adult bands. So I perform with a lot of
Wow,
people.
that's awesome. Now, how do people keep up to date with you as far as like social media or like websites? How do people find you?
Yeah, I have every social media platform, but it all links into my website. You can view everything from my website, photo galleries, my upcoming shows, even my shows where I guest with other bands. You could view on there. You can even ask me to play at a party or wherever you want me to play at, and just go on kobireese.com, and yeah, that's my website. It links into my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I think that's it. But,
Awesome. Now, with you doing what you're doing, what would be your ultimate goal? What's like your ultimate dream for?
well, I really want to end up touring with my band and just playing in huge stadiums with huge crowds and I want to be known, and I want people to know my music and be singing it.
Awesome. Well, Kobe, thank you so much for hanging with us tonight for a little bit. And best of luck to everything, man. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks so much, CT.
Have a good night.
You too.
There was Kobe Reese, man. Really, really exciting young man. A lot of stuff coming up from him, man. Really, really cool. Just want to touch base a little bit. Like I said, we have so much going on. So this coming Friday night, I will be emceeing Battle of the Bands, Death Wish Coffee Battle of the Bands live at the Landis Theater. I am asking, even though the voting is possible to do online, these bands really perform better with a lot of people in the crowd. Like you just heard young Kobe Reese talking about playing those big crowds. This is the chance to get out and support live original rock and roll. Everybody, some people wanted to take pop shots at the Landis Theater, but they dedicated the entire month of July. A lot of work goes into this, a lot of time goes into this. And I got to give a lot of respect to Ray Mamrek and Casey Ray over there, putting their heart out on the sleeve, man. I saw the title, my God, the the championship title for this contest is really, really cool. I will be emceeing that event live this Friday night at 7 o'clock. Please come out, support live original rock and roll, support live music. It's for you guys. These guys get votes. They get more votes from you guys being there than the online votes. So I'm asking you guys, please come out, please support both Friday and Saturday night. I will be backstage doing interviews with each of the bands involved both nights. And another thing that I wanted to touch base on looking ahead in our schedule. So we have that. And then next Friday night, I really got to ask you guys again, another time to come out, Mason Metal Fest. That will be at the Rusty Nail next Friday night. A lot of heavy metal, a lot of really good original bands. And we're doing this for Mason, man. Mason Metal Fest, really kicking ass in Ardmore. Thanks. Go out to the Rusty Nail. They will be hosting that event, as well as all the proceeds going to Music Works that helps with the developmentally disabled, uh, bringing therapy and music to those who much need it. Then, after that, next Saturday is the finale to the Battle of the Bands. That is the last night for Battle of the Bands. We will see 4 kick ass bands duking it out on the Landis stage, full lights and production. You cannot beat that, guys. It is going to be so exciting. And then August 5th, Jam on the Dam. We will be doing Jam on the Dam. This will be our 4th time doing it. It's a family event. Everybody can come out, hang out, swimming, boating, you name it, live music all day long, all day and night, food trucks, so much. And tickets for that are only $15 to get in. Supports a worthy cause. It is a benefit for the dams that are there. And then following that, the next Saturday will be our first time in Sweeney's. It is our 90s night at Sweeney's with tributes to Alice in Chains, Green Day, and the Foo Fighters. We're talking bands Nimrod, Wood's first debut show, and Monkey Wrench, guys. Going to be a hell of a night. Going to be a really, really fun time. And then from there, we're going to kind of take it easy for a little bit. We got a couple weeks that we're just kind of. I know I have a couple big shows that I'm attending in September, so taking a couple Saturdays off to check out some live rock myself, man. Looking forward to going to see Alice Cooper and Rob Zombie in New York. Then I will actually before that is the farewell tour for Aerosmith. So looking forward to that. Um, and then November 12th, guys, November 12th after September, our next live event will be November 12th, and we will be doing Rock for Recovery at the Landis Theater. The lineup is to be announced. We do have a lineup, just waiting to announce that a little bit later. but really excited for that as well. We have Hex Engine coming up. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back. All right, guys, welcome back to the Rock and Roll Union Streamcast. Like I said, if you haven't had a chance to go back and check out any of the live interviews that we did with the Death Wish Coffee Battle of the Bands participants this past weekend, make sure you go check them out, man. There's a lot of great bands. There was so much amazing original rock and roll music to be had. This coming Friday night, I will be emceeing that event, and I will be really excited to see if this weekend could possibly top next weekend. It's hard to imagine. Big shout out to the winners from last weekend. I know it was Strange Velvet and uh bear with me for 1 second. I know it was the Bad MFers. I'm just trying to remember the first part of that name, man. Um Chuck Thomas. Sorry about that. Chuck Thomas and the Bad MFers guys and Velvet won last week, and both really great music. Worlds apart differently, music wise, but very good. Um, Really excited to see where this goes. Really excited to see what happens in the final four when we get full production, lights, sound. Those bands are going to look amazing, but you need to make sure that you turn up and you turn out at the Landis. Tickets are $10 for 6 bands each night, guys. 24 bands involved in these shows, and it's all coming down to four, and then it all comes down to one. So we'll see who the champ is next Saturday night. But before that, like I said, we have a lot of live events coming our way. We have a lot of live events that we're going to be hanging out at. So this weekend, you have me emceeing the event, the Friday night Battle of the Bands. Come out, support. And then Saturday night, you have Battle of the Bands. I'll be backstage both nights doing interviews with both bands. We'll be running live on YouTube. Also, starting next Friday night will be Mason Metal Fest at the Rusty Nail in Ardmore, PA. A lot of killer bands involved in that, a lot of metal, a lot of good stuff. And then next Saturday is the finale of Battle of the Bands. Really excited to see that. So much amazing stuff. Like I said, very busy right now. Jam on the Dam after that, 90s Night at Sweeney's after that, and then goes into a little bit of uh, going to see some shows on my end. So we will be joined by the band Hex Engine any moment. Really excited to talk to those guys. Original music. A lot of really cool stuff to be had on their first album, I must admit. I was checking it out today. You can find that on Spotify. You can find that on a lot of different bands, a lot of different streaming engines, pretty much wherever you can find music. The new album, Other People, came out last month. Really cool album. Really intriguing music to be had. I gotta say, man. They show a bunch of different styles. Um, my favorite off the album has to be one of the longest, called Excuses, Excuses. We're going to be talking to these guys about this album. We're going to be talking everything about this album, and really, really excited to do all that. But just waiting on them to go to log on. But like I said, man, going over some of the Battle of the Band contestants this past weekend, I think of Black Rose Rebellion, who was your runner up Saturday night. Don't know who the runner up was on Friday night, but just got to say, man, they, looking back on some of the interviews that I did this past weekend, um, let's see, we have Loud Love is another cool band. Chuck Thomas and the Bad MFers, Mainline, Wild Plains, and Dustin Minucci. Dustin Minucci is a phenomenal guitar player. Reminds me a lot of Stevie Ray Vaughan or other blues influenced musicians. And then you can watch all of night one in one video, but everything else was done in individual YouTube live clips. So you can click on whichever band that you want to see, whichever band you want to see their interview, and do so that way. Once again, we're still waiting on, just waiting on Hex Engine to go ahead and log on for us. And once they do, we'll be talking with them. But guys, if there's anything that you guys want to talk about, man, so much going on in rock music right now, so much happening. Just if you look at, let's go ahead and look at Blabbermouth. Uh, in this moment, and Ice Nine Kills announces a tour, man. I'd really like to go see that show. Looking to see if there's any Philly dates set up. All these cool shows come so close to us. Reading's about as close as we're going to get for that tour, guys. Really excited to see that. I've seen it in this moment. They put on a phenomenal show live. Never seen Ice Nine Kills, though I wanted to. Um, looking at some of the other Poison to regroup in 2025, so they're taking some time off now. That's another 2 years. Brett Michaels is currently on tour. What else is out there? Godsmack announced tour. Paul McCartney with a new podcast coming out. That's rather interesting. Um, a lot of cool stuff going on, guys, and just a lot to be looking over. So once again, we were just waiting on Hex Engine. The moment we get them to log on, the better. And they might be with us in about 5 minutes, guys. Not trying to keep you guys dragging on. I know a lot of dead airspace tonight. Over the weekend, it was a little rough running that first night on the StreamYard app. It got better once we did the Facebook Live. And I got to say, I feel that it was even better with the YouTube live spots. So you guys let me know what you think. How's everything going? How are you guys enjoying the shows, the coverage, all that? Trying my best to give you guys the best. And if there's any suggestions, any advice, I'm always open here, guys. So once again, we're going to take a little bit of a break. Don't know where. We will be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the Rock and Roll Union Streamcast, guys. If you missed the beginning of the show, we had young Kobi Reese up with us. Very, very entertaining and talented young man. Really think the world of him and think the sky's the limit for that kid, man. A lot of great young bands out there. And if you're looking for young bands, look no further than Death Wish Coffee's Battle of the Bands. This coming Friday and Saturday night. Friday night, I'll be emceeing, and I will also be running live footage backstage, interviews of each of the bands. And if you come out, don't worry about missing my end of it because you guys will definitely be able to watch the replays on YouTube. We'll be coming live on YouTube Live. And if our interviews will be during the band changeovers, you can actually on watch it on uh, your phone, your tablet, whatever you bring with you. In between the bands and watch it that way. We're just awaiting Hex Engine so we can talk to those guys. Talented band out of Philadelphia, really unique sounds, but we'll be talking about all that soon. Also, please mark your calendar for next Friday night. So this Friday night, I'll be emceeing Battle of the Bands. Next Friday, we're going to be rocking the Ardmore Rusty Nail for Mason Metal Fest, man. Excited to talk to those guys. Uh, talk to those guys. Rock for those guys and give them the support and the attention that they need. Richard McDeed, great friend of mine and really loving and a father that really could use the extra support. And the only thing this kid really asked for is signed posters of each of the shows, and that's something that's very easy to come by. So, really looking forward to doing that. Um, Also, we'll be doing the finale of Battle of the Bands next Saturday. Then we got Jam on the Dam in Williamstown, Victory Lakes. Guys, you want to make sure you get out to that event. That is a highlight of the summer. So many fun things to do. Vendors, food trucks, live music all day long. You can just bring your chair out, and it's BYOB. Pack a cooler full of beer, come sit at the lake and watch live music all day. How can you beat that? It's $15. I think it's 6 or 7 bands. Guys, it's fantastic. You get too hot, jump in the lake. So it's awesome. But and then after that, we will be doing our 90s night in Sweeney's in Philly. Our first time Rock and Roll Union will be at Sweeney's, so I'm asking you guys to show out for that one. 90s Fest featuring tributes to Alice in Chains, Green Day, and the Foo Fighters. Nimrod, Monkey Wrench, and Wood's debut show. Really excited and really honored that they're going to be doing so on a Rock and Roll Union event. So, guys, so much good stuff out there. So many great things happening. Very, very busy person now, but still trying to make the time to have these shows go forward. Once again, we are waiting on Hex Engine. And we'll see, guys. We'll see. I'm going to give them just a few more minutes to log on here. If not, we're going to call it a night. But if there's anything that you guys want to discuss, anything that could make this show better for you, you let me know, man. Any artists that you would like to see come on the show, anything like that. Oh, and I would be remiss if you did not know, starting August 21st, really excited for this one. August 21st, we are starting a brand new web series, a brand new podcast called Live at Landis. It's going to be Steve Cizurko, me, and Ray Mamrek, the owner of the Landis, talking about all the great stuff coming up at the Landis Theater. And really, really going to be an amazing show. Make sure you guys tune in for that one. We'll be having all the guests that are coming to the Landis. And it's my pleasure now to introduce you guys to Hex Engine. Guys, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Hey, how you doing?
So, just wanted to get a little bit of information before we move forward about like the formation of the band, how long you guys have been together, things like that.
Let this guy answer.
Oh yeah, I think we've been together about 4 years now. I apologize. Our bass player isn't here. He went on vacation and only got back with some lousy COVID, so he's down for the count today. But we kind of met halvesies. So Bob and Christian met through some kind of musician meetup thing.
Yeah, it was Grinder.
Yeah, it was probably
Something
Grindr.
like that. No, it was one of these. I think we met on Bandmix or Craigslist. I don't remember right now off the top of my head because it was so long ago. We got together, Christian and I, and jammed a couple times. Decided we needed to add some more people on. We met another guitarist who is no longer with us. I mean, he's still alive. He's just not with us anymore.
Yeah, Bob didn't do anything questionable.
And so we went out and found Ron. And then Ron knew Drew, the guitarist. So we were a 5-piece for a hot second. And and then we evolved into a 4-piece.
Yeah, Drew's from my stomping grounds of Phoenixville. So when I saw we needed to have a shredder in the band, brought him in immediately before any other band could snap him up.
Nice. Now, as far as the new album is concerned, the album, which is, I believe it's your debut. Am I right?
That's
correct.
Yep. Album for you guys. I was listening to that today, titled Other People. And one song that I really wanted to ask you guys about, probably the longest one on the album, was Excuses, Excuses. Love that song. I was wondering if we can get a little bit of insight to that. What went on with the writing process on that one?
This is one of those songs that started with a riff written by our drummer, Bob, which sometimes we let him out from behind the kit. Yeah.
I do like to flex my songwriting muscles once in a while. That song started in my shower, believe it or not. Just the guitar riff, that main riff, just came to me one day in the shower. I started singing it to myself. The next thing I sat down with the guitar, figured it out, wrote it out, and the rest is history. As far as the music goes, we did some jamming on the chorus, and the middle part where we had that breakdown. That was something that Drew and I just came up together one day in practice. But for the most part, it's just came to me in the shower, I guess. Now, lyrically, all of our lyrics are written by Ron, so that's more, I guess, his story.
Yeah, I think that was one. When I heard the riff, there's a real doomy quality to it, and at the time I was thinking about people coming up short, and I think substance-wise, that song is a song about non-functional alcoholism. The people who can't quite keep it together, who are gonna get in your way. I'm all for the functional aspects there, but when it kind of gets in the way of life and interferes with other people, that's kind of the spark that lit that one.
Now, right now I'm trying to pull up because I was reading the band description on Spotify, and the debut album.
I don't even remember what was on.
It says Other People is a meditation on the bubbling paranoia and repressed anger underpinning everyday interactions. Is that basically how you guys feel about this album? And was this something consciously that you guys put forward?
I think that this is a culmination of a lot of what we did over the first few years. Because just to put that in context, we've been together for about 4 years. There's a good 3-year period there where things were a little bit shifty around the world, so to speak. Yeah. So that may color some perspectives. I think as we were going through the recording process, and I was thinking about what all the songs have in common. It's like, okay, there's really a very clear divide in the subject matter of it. It's very much, a meditation on how untrustworthy the outside world is to the individual. You see that very much, like Excuses is right down the middle of that. Fear of the Future is probably a pretty good culmination of that. The underlying theme of the whole album was essentially, when we looked at all the songs together as a collective, okay, yeah, hell is other people. And we're all kind of reacting to that.
Yeah, that's incredible. And that's honestly, the way the world, I mean, with you guys saying that you've been together for 4 years, you dealt with a lot of the uprising, the marches that went on, and COVID that went on. And it's amazing how we've all been through like 5 lives in the past 4 years. Like it's
yeah.
I mean, personally, we've been through, the band's gone through 2 divorces in that time as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, so as far as you guys playing in Philly, like you guys classify yourselves as coming from Philly. What part of Philly are you guys from?
Not Philly. How's that?
Not Philly. We're from Philly.
So these 2 are from Phoenixville. I live in Exton.
Okay.
That's where what we call the engine room. That's where we do our rehearsals and stuff.
We currently are.
And that's where we are currently. And our bassist is from Westchester. So, home base really for where we play is the local Philly scene. We do most of our playing in Philadelphia, the Khyber, Dobbs, those sorts of places. But, we don't actually reside in Philadelphia.
Don't forget Century, too.
Century.
Yeah.
Now, that was my question, was as far as the original scene, like, I'm from South Jersey, so I know exactly where you guys are. As far as finding places to play, how often are you guys playing out? And do you find it easy or a little rough to get bookings?
So this is a fantastic segue. I'm going to pay you for this, because thank you. So we have actually just recently been installed at Mansion House 37 in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, 37 Bridge Street, Phoenixville, PA. And so we host an open mic there every Thursday night. Sign-ups are at 6:30. Show goes on at 7. We play from 7 till 10. Sometimes we have some band friends that come in and we'll play. And we go over, we'll never shut somebody out. But we are actively working on trying to
Take real feed, guys. Can
you hear us?
With me for a moment, guys? Yeah, your internet went out for a minute.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. So for anybody who's not really familiar with Phoenixville, it's on the border of Montgomery County and Chester County, right on the Schuylkill River. It's basically the hottest sort of suburban town in Philadelphia area right now. And there's really not a local original scene there to speak of. So we are really trying to foster that. I played in the late 90s in a local original band in Philadelphia, and we were really in Philadelphia. We played 3 or 4 times a week in Philly. We had some radio play. But one of the things we always did, and I talk about this all the time, was every Sunday night, we would play the open mic night upstairs at Nick's on 2nd Street in Old City. And there was a scene there of 5 or 6 bands who really supported each other. And we helped get each other bookings. We became a scene. And I really try to foster that now in Phoenixville, because you're right, there's not a great local music scene in the Philly suburbs. If you want to play local music, you got to play in Philly, which is fantastic because there are some places there that support us. I should also mention, I really would like to mention the Rusty Nail in Ardmore, because those guys are really great and very supportive. Like we said, Century is a great bar for that stuff. But we want to do something in the suburbs too. When people can't make the trip into the city, there's a lot of suburban local original music that we want to give an opportunity to play in front of the local crowd. So that is something we're doing. And we're trying to make a move of it. Now we've just been in there for about a month, but it's picking up. It's picking up gradually. And so, if you're a local band in the area and you're hearing this or seeing this, come on out Thursday nights and play a set for us. We'd love to hear you.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, and I think that's really, they say it takes a village to raise a child, but it's the same thing with a band, man. It takes a village, and I think that it's something that we need to do more of, more camaraderie, more partnership music wise. Now, as far as influences with you guys into your music, what do you guys listen to? What do you like? What makes you want to play music?
Oh, baby, yeah, there's a lot of
answer.
Sure, you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up listening to a bunch of classic rock: Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath, Hendrix, all those guys, all the classic 70s and late 60s guitar heroes. That's where my stomping ground originally was. But I've always been open to funk and jazz and fusion and folk and acoustic stuff, and I kind of just open up my mind to whatever. And I feel like that allows me to just bring a bunch of different styles to the band, even though we're in the hard rock / stoner rock realm, I think, because I have maybe some influences that these other guys might frown upon or question me for a little bit. But I think this band allows me a place to just be free and play as much as I want to. But yeah, definitely classic rock for me was where I got my main influences from.
I think a lot of the through line for us are bands like Clutch and Sleep and bands in that genre. I'm very, very heavily influenced by Paul Rogers, Freddie Mercury, a lot of the big screamers back in the 2000s too. A good Chino Moreno scream from Deftones is something I always aspire to. So I love a good clean vocal, but I love that nice visceral ballsy kind of screaming vocal too. So that's kind of what gets me going.
It's funny that you mentioned Paul Rogers, because I do hear that in your voice on this album. I hear traces of that, and I was going to say that myself, that I hear the similarities and I hear some of that influence.
The high compliment, CT. Yeah, bad compliment until the day I die.
So, I'm sorry. In the middle, I don't know your name.
Bob.
So we got Bob.
John.
Bob.
That's Bob. That's Drew, and I'm Ron.
All right, cool. So, Bob, as far as your influences.
So I'm the drummer, so it starts with John Bonham, obviously. Kind of ends with John Bonham too. Now, musically speaking, I talk more about we say the music. Classic rock is a huge influence. Sort of the '90s movement. Then also, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden. I'm a huge Tool fan. I think it probably goes without saying, a Tool. But I'm also extremely influenced by sort of the lesser known bands. Caius was one of my favorite bands in the late 90s that doesn't get as much publicity. I think in our realm it kind of does, but I think, overall most people don't even know who they are, but they're amazing. Lately, I would recommend anybody listen to the new Dozer album, or the new Lowrider album. Both of those bands are insane, especially in our genre. And so I try to take, as much as I love Clutch and everything, I'm always trying to listen to what the next great album is. So always looking for new stuff, but we still fall back on, whenever we're in a pinch or we're doing something live and we need something, we always pull out something from Black Sabbath or something like that. It just seems to be what we do.
And now I did mention before you guys came on air that the new album is available on Spotify. I'm sure probably all the streaming services. How do people go about finding your social media pages, websites?
Oh, we're Hex Engine Music on Facebook. Drew, what's the Instagram?
Yeah, the Instagram is just hex.engine. Pretty sure, but yeah, it's the album is pretty much anywhere you could possibly listen to music. It'll be there.
We are on TikTok at Hex Engine, and we do have a Bandcamp page. We just received our shipment of our actual physical CDs. They just came in, so we'll be uploading that onto our Bandcamp page for purchase. If you still like to have something physical,
oh baby, fresh off the presses right here.
I'm one of those guys who everything is on my phone or streaming, but I still buy the CD from the band because it's nice to actually hold their, physical media in my hand. I know I'm old.
I'm there with you as well. I fully agree on that one. I'm also a big sucker for vinyl. I have a pretty extensive vinyl collection, and I've seen some but I've seen some bands offer vinyl as well, and that's something that I've always tried to grab up. But
we are looking around.
We've talked about but to date we don't have it available at the moment. But love to get that on vinyl.
Yeah, sure. I had an interesting conversation with Sean McVeigh from King Buffalo, name dropping now, but we talked about how he's making a go at it as a musician, but basically they're mobile T-shirt salesmen is what they really are. And so I asked him about the media, and he said you should get CDs. The bad thing about vinyl is they're very hard to take on tour with you because if they get stuck in a hot car, they melt. And then you have to replace them for everybody. So we're kind of doing the whole DIY thing, trying to figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to make it go with it, with that stuff.
Yeah. So fun fact too, CT, with this album, there's only 2 people involved in this that were not in the band. One was Mike Kirshner from the Dark Church, who recorded drums for us. And the other was Steven from Stone Eye, who did the mastering for us. Everything else we did completely ourselves. All the recording, all the mixing, everything. So we try and have as much creative control as humanly possible when we put this stuff out. So when we do vinyl, we want to make sure we make it as cool as humanly possible too.
Now, as far as your calendar is concerned, upcoming shows, things along that line, what do you guys got upcoming?
The next big one is July 29th. We're playing our album release show at Mansion House, coincidentally enough, with the Stone Eye. It's going to be great. We're going to do the full album in its entirety. I think we're going to have a few little extra surprises on top of that. In the fall, we're going to have another big party show with our friends of the band Double Planet. If you have not checked them out, check out their latest album, The Great Divide Volume 2. It's phenomenal, especially Thrashkin Robbins.
Yeah. And the Stone Eye, they're just coming off an actual national tour opening for Smile Empty Soul. So they've just toured almost all 50 states, and they will be playing with us at the Mansion House 37 on July 29th.
Nice. Are tickets available online for that, or are they at the door?
It is a free show.
Show up. It's free. Just walk on in.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
you can't beat free, man.
We want it to be as fun and as cool as possible.
Here's the other thing about Mansion House 37 is every show that we do that's done there is free. There's no cover. There's no charge. So it's all about promoting the music, getting crowds, and having a good time.
Yeah, creating that scene.
Nice. Now, let me ask you one more question. So for 2023, what is the ultimate goal for Hex Engine?
Survival.
2023 or 2024?
I was gonna say new album starts recording in the fall.
Yeah,
that's the goal. Keep the engine running.
Yeah, awesome. 2 albums next year. It took us maybe a little too long to get the first one out, so we're
we have
up the pace a little bit.
We have another hour and a half of material sitting in the hopper, so we just got to start working on it.
Yeah, we're itching to get back to the studio and get it all out.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking some time to hang with us tonight. Best of luck to everything. Please drop everything on the Rock and Roll Union page so we can keep up to date with Hex Engine. And much love to you guys. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks so much, CG. See you.
Have a good night, guys.
You too. Thank you.
So there was Hex Engine, guys. Really, really kick-ass band. Uh, Philly based. So make sure you check them out. Their new album, Other People, is now available on Spotify and all the other streaming platforms as well. You can also, as you saw, pick up hard copies from the bands. Make sure you check out them, get their merch, support live rock and roll. So once again, this is CT signing out from here and just reminding you that this coming Friday, you can see live rock and roll original music at the Landis Theater. Death Wish Coffee, Battle of the Bands, and guys, really excited to see it. Really excited to be emceeing and also hosting the interviews backstage. So this is CT signing off and saying until next time, don't just leave it better. Have a good